Winter is upon us, and the boys of Caribou County have divided their attention between the mats and the hardwood. Tonight, we put our focus onto the basketball court for another thrilling edition of Caribou County basketball. It doesn't matter if you put on the red and black of Soda Springs, the red and gray of Grace, or the purple of North Gem. When it comes to Caribou County basketball, the Bear is colorblind in its coverage, bringing you every dive into the bench, every shot from the outside, and every pass to the paint, as the boys of the county fight, scratch, and claw their way towards the hope of an appearance at the state tournament. It's boys basketball in Caribou County right now on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Sports on KBRV are brought to you by Sanders Furniture, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Monsanto, Silver Star Communications, and by Cook Brothers Broadcasting. Now, let's turn our attention to the court as we send it to the voice of Caribou County, Caleb Burgraff.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, out to another edition of Soda Springs Cardinals basketball, as the Cardinals hoping to try and move to 1-0 in district play tonight as they come to the home of the Malad Dragons, and it should be a win for the Cardinals by the books, as Malad is coming into this game with a 1-10 record on the season to this point in time. It has definitely been a struggle for Tyrell Neal, the new coach of the Malad Dragons, as he looks to try and build his team up to the dominance that they once had, which includes back-to-back state championships in 2005 and 2006. Since then, it has definitely been a struggle for the Dragons, and they are going to be looking to try and get their road back on track. A little bit of hope in this lineup. You'll hear more of that from Tyrell Neal, the coach of the Dragons, later on in our interview with him, as he definitely has some high aspirations for this Dragons squad. But he is not necessarily being unrealistic about it as well. He knows it's a young team. They have two freshmen up on the varsity as far as the roster is concerned, and every single player on the JV team will expect minutes in tonight's game as well, as they are going to get their quarter up at the varsity level, and that includes another 6 freshmen and only 1 more sophomore playing on the JV team. 1 sophomore on the varsity roster, 1 junior on the varsity roster, and then 2 seniors, with the other 2 seniors hurt. So it has definitely been a rough year for the Dragons. 1-10, again, is the record that they have put out there onto the board as the season has worked its way forward. On the other side for the Soda Springs Cardinals, 8-5 on the year. Maybe not the start that the Cardinals were hoping for on the season, but as we'll hear in an interview with Kyle Olson later on in our pregame show, it's not necessarily the worst thing that could have happened to the Soda Springs Cardinals squad, as they have definitely been battle-tested to this point in time. They've taken on all 3A schools. They've been able to come through with some tough victories, including their last game out against the Marsh Valley Eagles, a game which they came away with a 63-57 win in that matchup against the Eagles. It's a 30-point game. Well, the 30-point clock has been initiated here in the fourth quarter of the JV matchup. 67-43, the Cardinals on top of the Dragons. A 24-point lead for Soda Springs, as the last minute and 42 will wind off of the clock. We'll take a break while all that goes on and come back with our standout student, brought to you by Caribou Motor Rewind. It's going to be Laya Perez, a foreign exchange student at Soda Springs High School, who will be joining us on the program in just about 2 minutes after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air
and then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Here are your Lalaton's food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th in Soda Springs. Swing by and they can help you with breakfast savings. Get yourself Western Family select varieties of canned fruit for just $1 a can. They have $1 bags of Buyer's Best hash browns, as well as $1 cans of orange or grapefruit juice concentrate. If you're looking for something a little bit quicker each morning, they have Western Family 8 to 12 count instant oatmeal boxes, 2 for $3. Those are some of your food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
The clock continuing to wind down here in the JV game, 68-46. The Cardinals on top by 22 points as the final 8 seconds will tick off. That means it's time for us to jump into our standout student, brought to you by Caribou Motor Rewind. We'll be back with our words from Laya Perez of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Back after this on mylocalradio.com and online at mylocalradio.com.
For the past 32 years, the team at Caribou Motor Rewind has been specializing in pumps and electric motors, including domestic pumps for house wells. Offering parts and service, they have everything you need. The team at Caribou Motor Rewind thanks everyone in southeastern Idaho for your business and congratulates area high school students on their hard work and dedication to schoolwork and to sports. Caribou Motor Rewind, 198 North Hooper, Soda Springs. Stop in today.
Keila Burgraff here with our standout student for this week. It's Laya Perez, who is a foreign exchange student from Spain. She's a sophomore here at Soda Springs. And what's your experience over at Soda Springs High School been like so far?
I'm having so much fun, and I really enjoy the classes and the games and everything, and people are so nice to me, so I'm really happy.
When you take in an experience like this, has this lived up to the expectations that you had for it when you came over? And what was it like the first couple of weeks? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
Everything is better than I thought, and the first 2 weeks I was really, really nervous, and I didn't understand anything. My English was really, really bad, so I had a hard time trying to understand the teachers and the students. But now everything is better, so it's nice.
Looking at your classes that you've taken this year, what are some of the ones that you've taken, and which ones did you really enjoy the most?
I really enjoy speech because we don't have a speech in Spain, and I really like it. And I also enjoy yearbook that we don't have in Spain either, and we have so much fun.
Getting to experience those type of classes when you've never even heard of them before has to be something that's just like mind-opening. You talk about yearbook and speech, and those are kind of English-related things. Is language and just working with writing and reading something that you enjoy the most when it comes to learning in general?
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the reasons I'm learning English, because I want to know how to write and how to talk, and it's kind of good and very useful for me.
When you talk about teachers, too, for a foreign exchange student, teachers can make the difference when you come into a school. Who are some of the teachers that have really stood out to you, and how would you compare to the teachers here to those in Spain?
So Mrs. Cook really helped me a lot with the speech, and she tries to help me and don't feel bad when I have problems to talk. The difference is that probably here the teachers are more like, they try to help you a lot, and they are very, very nice, and they talk to you and they ask you, how is your life, how is everything going, and I think that's awesome.
What about just life inside the school, outside of the classes? Have you enjoyed that, and have you tried out any of the clubs, any of the groups to get into a little bit more of that?
Well, after school I usually go to the games and I take pictures for a yearbook, so that's kind of very cool. After school, with people that is very, very nice to me, they show me like American things and American games and things like that, and I really enjoy it.
A couple more questions for you, and the first one is, I know outside of school there's a lot of stuff to experience here in America. You got to go up to Yellowstone in the first month before you came to school. You got here a little bit earlier. Was that nice? And are you staying for another semester, and are you going to be able to experience some other stuff?
I'm staying here for another semester, so I will do a lot of things. We went hunting, that's something really, really different and new for me, and then we went fishing, and I've been in the bowling, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, everything is different. Like, even the store is huge and different for me. Like, easy things for you, for me, are like, wow, that's awesome. So it's kind of funny. Everything is funny here.
Final thing for you, when you go back to Spain, what's going to be the number one thing you're going to take with you from your memories here at Soda Springs High School?
Wow, that's a difficult question. I don't know, probably pictures and memories with my friends and my family. Everything is so nice here. I don't want to think about that day that I have to go back to Spain. So for the moment, I'm just enjoying my time here.
Well, Laya, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I appreciate you sitting down, and good luck to you the rest of the year here, and congratulations for being our standout student.
Thank you so much.
That was again sophomore Laya Perez of Soda Springs High School here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com. And I want to thank her for taking the time. It's always interesting when you get to see what exactly a foreigner thinks about the Americas and thinks about the American education and what exactly her experiences have been. So again, a big thank you to her, and I hope that she enjoys the rest of her time at Soda Springs High School, the rest of her time in America, before heading her way back over to Spain. That wraps up our Caribou Motor Rewind standout student. Thank you again to the fine folks at Caribou Motor Rewind, as well as to Laya Perez for joining us on the pregame show. We have another break, and then we'll come back with our coaches show, a chance to sit down and talk with Tyrell Neal of the Malad Dragons, and then Kyle Olson of the Soda Springs Cardinals. All that is on the other side of this break on your home for all Cardinal athletics, KBRV 800 The Bear, and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out into the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals as the Cardinal boys out on the court getting set to warm up. A little bit of an extended pregame show here as they put a little bit more time on the clock than I thought I was going to get. So we will give a little bit more of an insight on what exactly the Cardinals are going to be facing here tonight against the Malad Dragons. And Malad is bringing to the table, again, a 1-10 team. They have not necessarily had the most gracious start to their season. They have losses to Grace, 2 losses to West Jefferson. Their lone win is coming against American Falls, in fact, in a game that they got a 58-48 victory here at the home of the Dragons. Then they went to American Falls later on in the year, in fact, their first game of 2016, and lost to American Falls 58-38 in that matchup. So the Dragons will be looking to try and turn things around with the start of district play. They already got their first district play game out of the way. That was a road trip, or a home game here against Westside and the Pirates that turned into a 66-37 loss that Westside was able to cruise to. In that one, I think maybe the shocker for most of the teams that are going to be taking on Westside is the fact that the Malad Dragons were able to put up 37 points. That's one of their high point totals of the season, coming against the Westside Pirates. Of course, unless you were at that game or able to see what they were able to do, that doesn't necessarily say a whole lot about what a team has brought to the table. But you look at some of their other scores, their highest point total of the year is at 58 points showing against American Falls. They put up 45 points against West Jefferson and 43 points against West Jefferson. And after that, it really goes downhill to 38 points, 37 points, and then down into the 20s and even into the teens. When they played Marsh Valley, they only got to 11 points and only 19 points against Firth in the times that they played those two teams, at least one of those times individually. That's a look at your Malad Dragons coming into this game. We'll take a closer look at them again as the game continues to approach. But right now it's time for us to jump into our interview with the head coach of the Malad Dragons, in Tyrell Neal. It's one of his original years here at the Dragons. We talked to them about what it's like trying to get a program built up when the seniors know that it's a rebuilding year and when the freshmen are really young and you're trying to keep them excited about the game. So all that's coming up here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Burgraff here on the pregame show with Coach Tyrell Neal from the Malad High School Dragons. And Coach, the season's starting to hit into district play now. You guys have already played your first district game. It's been a rough season for the Dragons, to say the least. What have been your thoughts on the way this season has been progressing?
You know, this team has been down as far as wins and losses, but it always surprises me. They come back and they fight and they get into the next game and they're battling for it in most cases. And that's what's promising about this team. Yeah, we're down, but they keep fighting, and that's why we play the game, because anything can happen.
You only have 2 seniors left on your team, only 1 junior, and really only one varsity sophomore who's originally on the varsity. You do have 1 more on the JV squad. How do you go about it as a coach when you have such a young team and you have to keep them confident when they're going out on the court and to keep them invigorated about the game?
You know, we just put things into perspective. It takes a lot of patience as a coaching staff, and it takes even more patience as a player to realize that, you know, I'm a young kid out here. I don't have much experience, but I'm going to go compete anyway. And yeah, there's going to be mistakes, and we've got to look past those and just play our best game. That's all we can do.
One of the other problems that can come with a team like this is with your seniors, getting them to understand that this is not going to be a season where it's going to be a lot of flash and it's going to be a lot of push to get into the tournament. It's going to be for building for the next year. Have the seniors bought onto that, and who has really stepped up as a leader out of those seniors that you have?
You know, I'm not really sure I've bought on to that it's a rebuilding year. I keep having hope in these seniors, and they keep coming out and playing hard, and that's what I need from them. But they are helping these younger kids along and keeping them going and giving them confidence too, which I'm proud of. You know, Hayden Green has really stepped up. He's one of our leading seniors. Also, Ammon Bingham has played really hard in the last couple games, and those 2 are definitely leaders on the team, and the younger kids look up to them. Now, whether or not we get wins or not, that's a different ballgame, but we're headed in the right direction.
Always good to hear that. And when you talk about the right direction, the youth movement always is going to be a big part of that. What are your steps in building a program here as a coach, and what are some of the things you've been doing to get the younger kids that extra experience when out there on the court?
You know, we have a couple youth programs. We send some teams over to Preston. We're trying to get those organized and play in their league. We do a Saturday camp for a couple Saturdays in January and February. Today I had over 70 kids in grades 1 through 6 in the gym, working on skills, working on shooting, ball handling, and learning what teamwork's all about. So, I mean, that's where it starts. It starts in those younger grades, and we're trying to work it.
Tonight you guys get the Soda Springs Cardinals, a team that really likes to push the pace and really likes to get out and run. Is this going to be a good experience, do you feel, for your younger kids to get against a team like that in district play that you're going to see twice?
Yeah, it is a good experience for them. Soda likes to get up and down the court, but their press is even more difficult for a young team like us. So dealing with their half-court or three-quarter press is going to be one of our challenges tonight, especially with those younger kids who aren't quite as big and aren't quite as strong. So that's what we're trying to work around tonight.
Coach Neal, thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you guys tonight as you get ready to take on the Cardinals.
Okay, thank you.
And good luck to the Malad Dragons. We'll have more on our pregame show coming up on the other side of this break. Kyle Olson is coming up, and his words on what the Cardinals need to do after a very, very tight win against Marsh Valley, a win that maybe they went in a little bit cocky on. He'll be talking with us on the pregame show next on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back into our pregame show. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear. We're just about 4.5 minutes away from the start of tonight's game between the Malad Dragons and the Soda Springs Cardinals. We had a chance to sit down with Kyle Olson, a junior off the Soda Springs Cardinals basketball team, and ask him about his thoughts on how the season has been moving along for Soda Springs. We'll come back with his comments right now on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Burgraff here with Kyle Olson, a junior from the Soda Springs boys basketball team. And Kyle, the season for you guys, 8-5 now on the year. Is this how you kind of expected the year to go with the tough schedule that you had in the early going?
Yeah, we kind of hoped it would be a little better, but it's kind of turning out how we expected.
When you look at some of the teams that you guys have played, how much has this prepared you for that push in district play when you have to go through a tough schedule like that of only 3A schools getting ready for a 2A schedule?
Like you said, only 3A schools, it's pretty tough, but it prepares us more for the district play, and I think we'll be more ready.
Talk a little bit about last night now before we move on to what's coming up in Malad. You guys had a tough fight with Marsh Valley. The first time you played them, you beat them by 22. This time only a 6-point win. You had to come from behind in order to get that win too. What were some of the things that you guys noticed in that game that might have caused it to be a little bit closer?
We were out-rebounded a lot, and we didn't play very good defense. We weren't talking, and it was just overall not a very good night.
On the other side, you had some very good performances. Josh Balls with 20 points, but I think the big thing is his 13 points he put up in the first quarter of play to keep you guys in it. How big was it to end that first quarter with a lead in order to have confidence in that game?
I think it was good for the team to know that we weren't behind by over 10, because once we get down by that much, we kind of lose confidence.
When you came back in that fourth quarter, again, down by 9 going in at the start of the fourth quarter, what was Coach Bergholm telling you guys in the huddle when you guys went into that fourth quarter? And what was the mood of the team when you guys started to see the momentum come over onto your side?
Coach had confidence in us, and we were just trying to help each other out, trying to encourage each other to keep our head up.
You guys have Malad coming up. Before we talk about that, what about your game? You're one of the bench players on this team, but really one of the first players off of the bench for this squad. What is your role on this team when you look at yourself on the court?
I see me as more of a defensive player than player coach puts in to make points. That's more of the starting five, but I still try to play more offensively and score more points.
Tie that into getting into district play. How big is it to have not only you, but also other big players coming off the bench like Hiram Brown, as well as some of the other kids when you have to get into some of those tough district games?
I think we just got to keep our confidence and realize why we're not starting and be okay with the fact that we're not starting.
Malad's been having a tough season so far this year. Not really a lot of wins, but they're always, when you get into those district games, you can never count anybody out. How do you keep this game from becoming a trap game going into it?
We just can't overlook them. We got to play our game and not play down to their game.
Is it important for you guys to come away with a big victory this game instead of just coming away with one that's a 10, 15-point win, but actually really be able able to assert your dominance in this game?
I think we need to prove a point to the other district teams that we're coming to play.
Kyle, thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you guys to get ready to take on the Dragons.
Thank you.
That was once again junior Kyle Olson of the Soda Springs Cardinals as they look to try and get their season continued on to a good start. They'll be taking on the Malad Dragons coming up in just a couple of minutes as we're winding our way towards the starting lineups and the national anthem here at the home of the Dragons. The two teams are sitting up on different sides of the court. Cardinals will be benched on the right side of the court, the Dragons on the left side of the court as we take a look at what the gym looks like here at Malad. One of the better gyms, in my opinion, in District 5. A large gym surface, double-decker on the side we're on the second balcony, and then a set of bleachers on the far side. But a very sparse crowd in favor of the Dragons, and plenty of Soda Springs fans have made their way here to call out the Soda Springs Cardinals. We'll take a break, come back with the opening start lineups and the starting tip at tonight's game on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Live life comfortably in your new cozy Lazy Boy recliner, sofa, couch, or love seat. With a huge selection to choose from, you'll find the right one for you at Sanders Furniture and Appliances in Soda Springs. If you've been dreaming of brand new kitchen appliances like refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and chest freezers, you'll be able to find top brands like Whirlpool, Amana, and Maytag. Visit Sanders Furniture and Appliances in Soda Springs. Come find what you're looking for. Sanders Furniture, 148 South Main, Soda Springs.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out into the home of the Malad Dragons. Caleb Bergrath here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com. Time for our starting lineups, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Home Health. And we start off with the Malad Dragons. They're going to be led off on the night by number 14, sophomore Justin Hubbard. He is going to be followed up by number 21, senior Ammon Bingham. And number 25 is junior DJ Evans. Number 30 is freshman Bodie Ekstrom. And number 23 is senior Hayden Green. That is the starting five for the Malad Dragons, wearing the home white uniforms. Dragons written across the front in black, outlined in orange, with black and orange striping down the storts on each side. Over on the side for the Cardinals, their starting lineup is one that we've gotten very used to onto the court. They're led off by number 2, Tanner Myers. He is a 6-foot senior. Number 3 is a 5'11 senior, Josh Balls. Number 10 is Ridge Thompson, a 5'11 junior. Number 20 is 6'4 junior, Will Sims. And wrapping it all up is sophomore Henry Workman, a 6'4 post for the Soda Springs Cardinals, who is talking to him before this, trying to work a little bit more on his outside game as far as ball handling and quickness goes, and it is definitely showing off as the season continues. The Cardinals have a very balanced team, though. Everybody really able to contribute, and we've talked a little bit about each and every one of them on what they've been able to do in putting their effort out there onto the court. Zeros up on the scoreboard. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Home Health. Time for our starting tip, brought to you by the 3C Grill in Grace, Burgers, Pizza, and Barbecue. And they cater as well, so be sure to swing by the 3C Grill and say hi to Sky. Opening tip is going to be taken and tipped all the way into the backcourt to the Dragons. They'll bring it forward, working left to right on your radio dial as Hayden Dane into the game, is going to take over the starting duties, and the Dragons with a backcourt violation will give the ball right back over to the Cardinals on the opening possession. So with 7 minutes and 49 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, Cardinals inbound. Ridge Thompson, quick pass near side. Josh Balls cuts under the hoop, lays one up, too strong. Rebound off to the left side. It'll be picked up there by Hayden Green and brought back forward by Dane of the Dragons. Dane comes up across the half-court stripe, directs some traffic. Ridge Thompson comes out to guard him. Now he's going to flip the ball to the left side to Hayden Green. On the left side wing, Balls forces him up towards the top of the key, gets up top to Dane. On the right side, Cardinals defensively playing a man-to-man. They're going to have a shot put up against them, a wild shot that's going to be missed over the backboard by DJ Evans. Cardinals turn it over on the other side, and it's going to be stolen and almost laid up and in by Hayden Green, but Soda Springs will come back and block it away in order to get themselves another opportunity underneath their own basket. The Dragons get set to inbound. Doing the inbounding, Ammon Bingham, one of the few seniors for the Dragons that's on their team. Only 2 remaining seniors on this varsity squad. He passes the ball in. It'll be taken by Evans. DJ goes to the left side. Green comes all the way around to his right, goes back to his left, picks up his dribble, looks to his left, bounces it off to Dane. Dane walks it up to the top of the key. He is one of the quarterbacking players for the Malad Dragons, and he's going to quarterback this one into the lane, trying to pass it off and find an assist. It's missed on the shot attempt by Ammon Bingham. Cardinals come back the other way. Josh Balls with the ball, gets it over into the hands of Ridge Thompson, who splashes down the deuce, and the Cardinals come up with a 2-point lead. Thought it was a 3-ball at first, but the Cardinals will end up taking the lead regardless on your scoreboard. 2-0, early going first quarter of play. Ball lofted over everybody by the Dragons, but they're going to say it's tipped out of bounds back into the hands of the Soda Springs by the Soda Springs Cardinals, and the Dragons will retain possession. 2-0, they lead. 6 minutes and 32 seconds left to go here. Ball's going to be inbounded and taken. Driving step in, floating it up and missing the shot is Hayden Green. Rebounded by Tanner Myers. Lofted up ahead and laying it up and in is Henry Workman on the other side of the court. Workman gets his first basket, and the Cardinals find a 4-0 lead early going here in the first quarter of play. Dragons bring it up against the full court press of the Cardinals. A lackadaisical full court press that's now going to let the Dragons set up their half court offense. Ball lofted over to Green. Goes to the left side. Dane can't handle the pass. Gets it back, though, as Josh Balls could not corral it in front of him. Pass flipped over towards Ammon Bingham. His shot missed. Ridge Thompson with the board. Drives all the way up the court. Picks up his dribble. Near side, Tanner Myers for 3. Count it. Tanner Myers, who had a slow start in the game against the Marsh Valley Eagles, gets off to a good start here, and the Cardinals increase their lead to 7-0. Dragons up the court to the top of the key. Ball will be held onto there by Hayden Green. Walks over to his right, pulls it out near half court. Workman comes out to guard him. Dragons shifting into a 4-high the offense. Move the ball underneath, outside to Dane, left side corner. Puts up a shot, blocked away by Tanner Myers. Rebound tipped around and finally pulled in by Josh Balls. Up ahead to Henry Workman. He tries to lay the ball up and in. They're going to call it out of bounds. Last touch by the Cards, and they turn it over on the rebound by, that is Henry Workman. Had a momentary brain lapse there. Over to the left side. Dane now comes back to his right and pitches the ball to Bingham. Bingham off to Dane. 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Still 7-0. Soda Springs on top. Defense holding strong and not giving the Dragons really anything to shoot for in the game so far. No easy looks. Now the Dragons will turn it over for the second time in the game, giving it back over to Soda Springs, working right to left, and a chance to build on their 7-0 lead. 4 minutes and 54 seconds left to go. Ball lofted forward. Josh Ball skip pass to the near side wing. Tanner Myers again for 3, short off the side of the rim. Rebound kicks to Bodie Ekstrom, the freshman, and he'll give off to his fellow freshman and Hayden Dane to bring it forward. Dane, as I said, the quarterback, for several games in the varsity season this year, as he had to step in for the senior quarterback, and he is not he's looking forward to what should be a good season for him moving forward on the next couple of years. Ridge Thompson picks up a rebound, travels with the ball coming back the other way, turns it over to the Malad Dragons. 3 turnovers for the Cardinals in the first quarter of play. Not something that they'd like to see continuing on in this game. That was definitely something that I know that Coach Greg Bergholm was talking about his team with during the break in between Marsh Valley and the Dragons. 7-0. Dragons bring the ball up, left to right they move. To the left side of the court, standing on the wing now, is going to be Hayden Green. Looks to drive in, catches a screen, feints into Dane, who wanted the give and go, but now move it back outside where Bodie Ekstrom will lose his dribble. Has it poked away from him. Green tracks it back down near the top of the key, and with 4:06 to go, we'll reset the offense. Fakes the pass to the left, now steps back at the free throw line. High jumper, misses the shot, but it's going to be a foul called on the floor after the shot. Will Kress picks up the first foul of the game for either team. And wanting a foul on the shot was Tyrell Neal on the bench, but they're not going to get it as the Dragons are going to inbound from the far sideline. 4 minutes to go on the dot here. First quarter of play, 7-0, Soda Springs up. Ball passed off to Green. He'll walk it to the near side. Flips a pass over to Drew Green, his younger brother, the sophomore, and he'll float it inside. Shot up, fade away, no good. Rebounded by Kyle Olson, missed by DJ Evans there, and Olson will jog the ball forward. Goes over to the near side. Thompson spots up from 23 feet. Splash down from deep. Ridge Thompson with his 5th point of the game. Cardinals with a double-digit lead now, still shutting out the Dragons 10-0 with 3.5 gone by. Over to Green. Drew Green, I should say, brings the ball forward. Top of the key, crosses over the sophomore, loses the ball, gets it back, now throws it away, right into the hands of Will Kress, up ahead to Tanner Myers. He steps into the lane, controls his body, but can't get the shot. Olson puts up a shot that's blocked away and rebounded on the backside, this time by DJ Evans, and the Dragons will slow the pace coming back the other way. They're definitely a team that's trying to keep this game from getting out of hand and keep the Cardinals from running the court. Ball floated down into the paint, put up and laid up and in for the first points of the game. Bodie Ekstrom with his first bucket is 10-2 with under 3 minutes to play. Ridge Thompson trying to answer back. Shot short off the front of the rim, and a foul's going to be called over the back on the Dragons as Kyle Olson went up for the rebound and is going to be fouled by DJ Evans coming down the other way. So the Cardinals will have a chance to inbound underneath their own basket as Josh Balls and Will Sims will check back into the game for the Cardinals. Tanner Myers and Henry Workman taking a seat. Ball lofted deep. Will Sims takes the ball top of the key, finds Olson, right side corner for 3. Kyle Olson keeps the 3-point parade going. That's 3 straight triples for the Cardinals on the scoreboard, and they lead it 13-12, an 11-point advantage, their biggest of the game. To the top of the key comes Hayden Dane. Bounce pass to the near side, almost mishandled by Drew Green. Gets it back, tries to pass the ball underneath into Bodie Ekstrom's hands, and will have it batted back to his own hands. And it's going to be turned over back to the Cardinals as it went out of bounds into the bench. And Soda Springs will get a chance to talk things over as a timeout is taken by the Malad Dragons. It's a full break. We'll take one as well. Back after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Here are your Lalaton's food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th in Soda Springs. Swing by and they can help you with breakfast savings. Get yourself Western Family select varieties of canned fruit for just $1 a can. They have $1 bags of Buyer's Best hash browns, as well as $1 cans of orange or grapefruit juice concentrate. If you're looking for something a little bit quicker each morning, they have Western Family 8 to 12 count instant oatmeal boxes, 2 for $3. Those are some of your food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Malad Dragons. Caleb Burgraff on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Keep an eye out for your shot of the game by Gem Valley Surveyors, as well as for your play of the game brought to you by Trail Canyon Lodge Bed and Breakfast. Those two proud sponsors of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Also a proud sponsor of the Soda Springs Cardinals is Caribou Memorial Hospital. We'll talk more about them as the game moves on, but right now the timeout huddles break. And the Dragons will strut onto the court with the Cardinals getting set to inbound from the near sideline. On the court for Soda Springs, Josh Balls, Will Kress, Kyle Olson, Hiram Brown, and Will Sims making up the 5 in black. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left to go, 13-2. Soda Springs on top, and Josh Balls will jog the ball up the near side. Goes over to Olson on the right wing, kicks it to Hiram Brown, steps in, floats the pass to Will Kress, short on his little teardrop. Rebound tipped around and finally controlled underneath the basket by DJ Evans. He hands off to Dane to bring the ball forward. He walks to his left. Guarded out there by Olson. Tries to cross over Olson. He steals it away, though. Kyle straight to the hoop. Lays it up and off the backboard. Will Kress for the rebound, though. He turns around and gets the backup shot to go. And the Cardinals build the lead to 13 points, 15-2, with 1 minute and 53 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Dragons again walk it forward, trying to find some sort of offensive rhythm. as they will almost turn it over once again, and a jump ball or a foul. It will be a jump ball called underneath on the backcourt, and the Cardinals will get possession on the jump ball, so another turnover for Malad. That's their 6th in the game with 1 minute and 43 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Still 15-2 as Bingham will check back into the game for Malad. Taking a seat on the bench is Drew Green, the freshman. Pass over and taken by Josh Balls as he walks it across half court. Comes to the near side, working right to left. Hiram Brown takes it in the corner. Back out to Will Kress. He finds Josh Balls underneath the basket, clears some space, misses the shot, but there was a reason he missed the up shot, as he is going to be fouled on the play by Ammon Bingham, and it will send Josh to the free throw line for a pair. First free throws of the game for either team. Chance to build on a 13-point lead, 15-2 with 1 minute and 31 remaining in this first quarter, and he cannot hit the front end of the free throw. That was another thing that Greg Bergholm had a sit-down conversation with this Cardinals team on during the break on Friday between the Marsh Valley game and tonight's game, and that was, you got to take advantage of the free throws. Those are easy buckets, and they work on them so hard in practice. Josh Ball's second free throw. That's short as well, going 0 for 2, a rare occurrence for him. Rebound tipped out of bounds, though, off of the Dragons. Ammon Bingham, the last to touch it, and the Cardinals will get to inbound from the right side of their own hoop from where we're sitting. Josh Balls to inbound, lobs one into Will Kress. It's almost turned over. Tanner Myers right there to get it back, finds Josh in the lane. He skips it to Will Sims, tries to drive his way into the hoop, has his shot missed off the short side of the rim and rebounded by Bingham. And it will be, again, the Dragons to bring things forward with under 1 minute and 15 to play. Dane to the left side. Pass is going to be faked over there by Ekstrom. He puts up a shot from the far side corner, rebounded by Josh Balls, and the senior will push up for the Cardinals. Pass to the right side. Tanner Myers pump fakes, loses his dribble now, gets it up to Henry Workman, who had a momentary lapse of concentration, almost turned it over as he had to corral it on the sideline. Well, Cardinals will get it back, though, move the ball around. Pass into the paint. It's going to be tipped around. Workman there to finally trap it in. Puts up a shot, rolls around every part of the rim, and is going to be pulled down on the rebound by Bodie Ekstrom. And the Dragons will get a little bit lucky on some lackadaisical play by the Cardinals, the best way to put it. Up the court again goes Dane into the hoop, kicks the pass to the near side. Beautiful play, but the Dragons can't result in a basket, although Dane gets the rebound on the backside as the Cardinals couldn't corral it, and Hayden's able to drop it through. But I tell you, he found Bodie Ekstrom on the near side corner for a wide open shot that he just couldn't hit. Back the other way, Tanner Myers puts up a shot, bricks it off the front of the iron. Bingham again pulls down the rebound for his second, and the Dragons get another chance to try and run their offense and cut it to a single-digit game. Pass lofted forward, on the floor, ball loose, and coming up to his knees, should have been a travel, is going to be Ekstrom. Into the paint, though, they're going to pass the ball down low, and I believe being fouled on the play is Ammon Bingham, and he should be stepping to the line for a pair of free throws. The foul is going to go on to Tanner Myers for his first. So 2 free throws for Bingham at the line. And the senior observes the first one and can't get it to drop down. One of 2 seniors for this Malad Dragons team, as he looks to try and help his team move forward. They originally had 4 seniors, but 2 of them have gotten hurt on the season. Second free throw, no good as well. They're going to say a lane violation will be called on Will Kress, though, and earns him another chance at the line, as Will Kress snuck inside the three-point line just a little bit too early. 1 second left to go, first quarter of play, so regardless of what happens, this will most likely be the last thing of the first quarter, the last action. Free throw, no good. Henry Workman pulls down the rebound to keep the Dragons from getting a putback, and we head into quarter number 2, 15-4. Soda Springs on top of the Dragons right here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, Hello? That's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back out to Malad, Idaho. Caleb Bergraff on KBRV 800 The Bear and online on mylocalradio.com. 7 minutes and 56 seconds to go as the Dragons come out with the basketball to start out quarter number 2. Dribbling it around is Hayden Green. Goes to his left, step back for a 3. Up and rims out. Ball is loose on the floor, finally picked up by Ridge Thompson, and the Cardinals will push it back the other way. Thompson into the lane. Flips the pass up. It's going to be tipped around, picked up by Will Sims. Gives outside to Dylan Downs, fresh into the game. And to the right side, he finds Tanner Myers open for 3. Too strong off the back iron. Rebound tipped into Henry Workman, who is going to get it to go. Will Sims with the tip in, and Henry Workman gets his 4th point of the game. 17-4. Cardinals will lead back up to 13, matching their biggest of the game. And with 7:17 to go, Green will turn it over. Ridge Thompson with the basketball, pulls it away. A foul is going to be called on Green as he fell to the floor. Nothing intentional, just a loss of footing, and he incidentally ended up hitting Ridge Thompson. And the Cardinals get to inbound from the near sideline now with 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. Ridge Thompson to do the inbounding. Tanner Myers will come over and receive the inbounds play before bouncing it back over to Ridge. The junior will bring the ball forward. Goes over to the right side. Myers kicks it into the corner. Will Sims holds onto it there for a moment. Floats a pass inside. Myers kicks it outside. Ridge Thompson jab steps, gets it up as shot. Can't get it to go as the rebound kicks outside to the near side where Bryant Corbridge will pull it in. He turns it over, though, on a pass, and it's going to be Tanner Myers stealing the ball away and laying it up and in, and the Cardinals build up to a 15-point lead, 19-4. A very methodical build-up for the Cardinals. Not a lot of huge runs for Soda Springs early on in this game, as we've been known to see the Cardinals do. Bounce pass into the lane on the other side, rejected by Henry Workman, and the Cardinals will get a defensive stop as Dylan Downs pulls down his first rebound of the game. Ridge Thompson to Downs. He puts up a 3 ball. That's no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded underneath the basket by Bodie Ekstrom. And again, the Dragons will get a chance to bring it forward. It's not that the Cardinals' offense has been cold, but the Dragons have been avoiding giving up second chance points. As Green steps into the lane, lays it up, can't get the friendly roll. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Green underneath the basket. And Soda will get the basketball back. This basket has been definitely, especially the one on the right side of the court, was very unkind to teams last night when the Cardinals and Dragons were playing in the girls' game, and it is seemingly continuing its favor, or lack thereof, I should say, in game number 2 on this weekend for the Cardinals in Malad. Over to the left side. It'll be Brown. Kicks the ball up top to Josh Balls. Takes one dribble. Fires a pass to Downs on the right side. Corner for 3. Count it. Dylan Downs finds his stroke. He's 1 for 2 now. And the Cardinals build the lead up to 18-22-4. Dragons will jog it forward. And Hayden Green will take the point. Goes to his left. Kicks the ball into the corner. Taken there by Corbridge. Bounce pass to the top of the free throw line. Dribbled back outside by Justin Hubbard. And moved to the near side wing. Taken there by Bingham. Bingham goes back up top to Hubbard, tries to drive in, keeps his dribble, finds Bingham again. He'll act like he's going to drive in. Hiram keeps him from doing so, and a foul is going to be called on Hiram. That'll be Hiram Brown's first foul, as the Cardinals looked like they might have a chance at a fast break layup, but instead it will be the Dragons inbounding the ball from the near sideline once again, working left to right. 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go, second quarter of play, 22-4. The Cardinals on top here in that first quarter of play. Ball moved in. Bingham takes the ball inside the wing about 15 feet away. Kicks the pass outside to Ekstrom. He goes to the left side and trying to get the ball over to Hayden Green will turn it over by throwing it away. And the Cardinals pick up their 8th turnover of the game. And the Dragons will go back on defense. 22-4. And Ridge Thompson brings it forward. Walks it to the left side. Stops on the wing before firing it back to Josh Balls. Over to Ridge once again, back to Josh. He floats the pass into the lane before having it picked off. Bryant Corbridge comes up with the steal, and he'll give it back once again to Green to bring the ball forward. Green comes over to his right, one of the other seniors on this team. Will walk to his right now, pulls it back near half court. Now over to his left with the dribble, pulls the ball up and gives it off to Ekstrom. Ekstrom tries to drive on Josh, picks up his dribble. Fires a pass into the paint that's going to be stolen away by the Cardinals. Dylan Downs comes up with it, and it'll be brought back forward. Thompson into the paint. It'll be Josh Balls after Hiram Brown saved it from going out of bounds. Josh attacks to the lane, gets up to the basket, can't make the shot, but he's heading to the free throw line for a pair of attempts. with 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go. The foul is going to be called on Bryant Corbridge, his first. Josh wiggles the feet, puts up the shot, short off the front of the rim. He's 0 for 3, and a very frustrated look on his face as he swats the ball back towards the official and is kind of going, what's wrong with my shot right now here? One more chance for the senior. Red shoes and socks matching as the black leggings and black jersey match above, and it all matches into a make as he finally knocks one down. 1 for 4 in the game now. 23-4 Cardinals with that 19-point advantage over the Dragons. Green with the ball, comes across the half-court stripe with 4:30 to go. To his right, catches a screen, looks to drive inside the lane, pulls up his dribble though on the wing, has it poked out of his hands by Josh Balls, and it will remain Dragons basketball as Josh tried to force the turnover but could not quite end up retaining possession or getting it to go off of Green on the out-of-bounds play. Ball lofted and it'll be taken near the top there by Justin Hubbard. To his left, tries to drive in, picks it up top of the key, looks inside the paint, picked up his dribble, 5-second call approaching, but the Dragons will avoid that as they move it to the right side where Green will take the basketball. Hayden goes up to the top of the key. DJ Evans there, moves it all the way to the left side, back to Hubbard on the wing. Top of the key. Holding it there, Corbridge gives back to Green, left side wing. Josh Balls reverses his defensive stance and watches as Green tries to bring it top of the key. Hubbard, the intended receiver of a pass. Dylan Downs trying to run all the way up the court, and he is going to get fouled on the floor, and it'll be an inbounds play coming up for the Cardinals. Good foul if you're the Dragons there to avoid giving up the easy basket, and taking that foul is Justin Hubbard for his first. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here as the Cardinals will sub out Dylan Downs, Kyle Olson into the game. Riley Harris also into the game for the Cardinals as Josh Balls gets set to inbound. Plots a pass into Riley Harris. He steps to the hoop, 2 steps forward. Can't get the first attempt to go. Fouled on the second attempt. Count the basket. Riley Harris with a strong move to the hoop after getting the second chance opportunity. And he is going to head step to the line for an and one free throw. DJ Evans picks up his second foul of the game. 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. 21-point lead for the Cardinals as make it a 22-point lead as Riley Harris cans the second free throw, or the first free throw, and gives the Cardinals up by 21. 25-4. Should be 26-4, I believe, as the balls move over to the far side. Taken on that far side wing by Corbridge. Gives it up top once again where it's held onto by DJ Evans. He drives to his right. Picks it up outside the wing. Passes it to the middle. Bingham rises for 2 from the free throw line. Again, the rim unkind as Will Kress comes down with the second board. And the Cardinals, another chance to push the pace. Over to the right side, Olson up top to Kress, who holds it for a moment before giving it back to Olson. Inside, they feed Riley Harris. Turnaround, jump shot, can't get it to go. Olson with the board, pump fakes up with the second chance opportunity. And Kyle gets his 5th point of the game. And the Cardinals' lead improves again, 28-4 now with a 24-point advantage over the Dragons. To the left, into the lane, Green drives before giving it off to Hubbard. Pass down low intended for Bingham is going to be a foul instead on Hiram Brown. As Brown getting a little bit too aggressive, draped all over his offensive counterpart. And that will see him pick up his second foul. Riley Harris checks out of the game for the Cardinals. Josh Balls as well checking out as Workman into the game once again, as well as Tanner Myers. Pass inbounded to Green on the far side, rising for 3, forcing one, banked off of the backboard and hitting nothing else. Will Kress comes up with the board to the right side, gets the ball back on a pass into Olson, now kicks it to Tanner Myers, into the lane, fires it to Hiram Brown. Short jumper, splashes it home. Hiram Brown with his first bucket of the game, and the Cardinals up 30-4 over the Malad Dragons. Timeout taken by the Dragons. We'll take one as well, as the Dragons being held scoreless in quarter number 2 for the first 5.5 minutes. More coming up after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
mylocalradio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Welcome back out here to the home of the Malad Dragons, and despite what the score seems like it is, 30-4 right now with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the second quarter of play, the Cardinals have not necessarily had a walkover opponent against the Dragons. The Dragons just getting some unkind rolls on the rim, and really that has been the biggest problem that they have had in the game to this point in time, as their offense has not turned it over too much. Only 9 turnovers in the game to this point in time against the Cardinals team that not pressing for the one thing, but definitely has not necessarily given away a quick game to the Dragons. Pass down low into the post for the Dragons. They come out of the timeout. Will be a turnaround jump shot blocked away. Picked up on the out-of-bounds line by the Dragons, and they'll turn it back over to the Cardinals. Trying to fight for the board was DJ Evans as he falls out of bounds. The junior fighting hard underneath the basket, but not able to come up with anything. A taped left leg as well as 2 knee braces as the junior comes back up the court. The Cardinals will bring it forward. Right to left, the Cardinals work. Pass inside the paint is going to go off of the hands of Henry Workman. Olsen in the right place at the right time, lays it up and in, and Soda Springs builds the lead again to 28 points now, 32-4. Still shutting out the Dragons in the second quarter. To the left side, Green tries to cross over, passes it to the near side, but he's going to be fouled on the pass attempt. It's Will Kress who picks up the foul. It'll be his second. And the Dragons another chance to inbound as Ridge Thompson checks back into the game for the Cardinals. Hiram Brown will take a seat. Dragons will be inbounding underneath their own basket. Hubbard to do the action. He stands on the baseline, bounce pass to the near side, taken there by Bodie Ekstrom. He gives his dribble up to the top of the key, and to run the offense is going to be Hayden Green once again to the left side. Shot up and no good once again. Rolling off the rim after Corbridge couldn't hit it. Ridge Thompson with his 4th rebound comes up underneath to Olsen, picks up his dribble, floats the pass outside the wing to Tanner Myers. Skips it inside, shot up and good from Henry Workman there, who found space 6 feet from the hoop. Turnaround jumper is good. He's got 6 points. The Cardinals with 34, and with 1:23 left to go, the Dragons will again bring the ball forward. Down by 30 points to the near side. Green picks up his dribble. Up at the free throw line on the right side elbow. Again, missing the shot. Unable to get it to go down is DJ Evans. Workman with the board. Up ahead to Myers. He goes to the hoop, attacks, and a blocking foul is going to be called as 2 free throws will come onto the line for Tanner Myers for the Cardinals. Foul goes on to DJ Evans. It's his 3rd. Really the only player on either team in foul trouble at this point in time, as Myers gets the ball for the first free throw. That's up and rolls its way down and good. He's got 6 points now. 1 point behind Kyle Olsen with 7 points for the team lead. Second free throw up, and he'll change that. The 2 of them tied up at 7 points apiece, and the Cardinals' lead expands to 36-4. Ball to be inbounded by the Dragons. Loose full court pressure being applied by the Cardinals to force them to walk the ball forward. To the near side, Green holds onto the ball, looks to his right, passes it off to Hubbard. He wants to go into the paint. Can't find anybody to get into the paint, though. Now loses the ball. Ridge Thompson stealing it. Fouled as being rolled over on the near side is DJ Evans, and he's going to end up picking his 4th foul up now, as he was just getting into the wrong spot as Ridge Thompson had the steal, and to avoid the steal, he tried to get it away from Thompson, and it ends up picking up the 8th team foul and sends Ridge to the line. A collision of bodies will watch Ridge Thompson attempt 1-and-1 free throws as Evans takes a seat on the bench. Frustration, I believe, on his face as his team yet to score here in the second quarter. 36-4, Cardinals on top. Free throw up and good. Thompson earns himself 1 more. He's got 6 points in the game now. Ball bounce to Ridge 1 more time. Goes through a couple of dribbles, puts the shot up. That one in and out, no good. Rebound off to the far side by Hayden Green. He'll jog it up the court to the near side. Comes up to the top of the key now. Guarded by Will Sims. Now backs it out near the half-court line. Sims tries to poke the ball away. Green avoids having it poked away. He's looking for somebody to get the ball to. Picks up his dribble and finds Hubbard on the right wing. Back to Green to reset. Nobody flashing open. He finally finds the left side where Bodie Ekstrom gets it on the wing. Drives to the hoop. Fouled on his way to the hoop. That's going to send Bodie to the line for his first attempt of the game. And Tanner Myers picks up his 2nd foul of the game. 16 fouls on the Cardinals. The Dragons 0 for 3 at the line so far in the game. 26.8 seconds to go. Chance to try and get them onto the board as Ekstrom toes the line for the first time tonight. Free throw up. Bottoms. The freshman splashes it down. One of 2 freshmen in the starting lineup for the Dragons tonight, as Dane was also a starter. Hayden Dane, I should say. And 1 more will be approached by this freshman, and he cans that one as well. So Ekstrom with 4 of the 6 points for the Dragons, and the Cardinals will again get to bring it forward. They'll slow it down and possibly take final shot. Ridge Thompson crosses half court, looks back to Greg Bergholm for a play, and comes back to the near side. Slows the pace down, again goes to his right, stops on the wing. Still waiting for some time to dribble off. Under 10 seconds to play. Dylan Downs open on the near side. Can't hit a three. Will Sims goes up for the rebound. Gets it over the top of a defender and lays it up and in as the Cardinals build their lead up to 39-6. A 33-point advantage heading to halftime. We'll take a break. Come back with your halftime break. Our halftime show brought to you by Mexico Therapeutic Services right here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Live life comfortably in your new cozy Lazy Boy recliner, sofa, couch, or love seat. With a huge selection to choose from, you'll find the right one for you at Sanders Furniture and Appliances in Soda Springs. If you've been dreaming of brand new kitchen appliances like refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and chest freezers, you'll be able to find top brands like Whirlpool, Amana, and Maytag. Visit Sanders Furniture and Appliances in Soda Springs. Come find what you're looking for. Sanders Furniture, 148 South Main, Soda Springs.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's halftime for the Soda Springs Cardinals, and that means we're going to take a break and get back to our Mexico Therapeutic Services halftime show after this word from our sponsor. Right here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Are you feeling stressed? The Anxiety and Depression Association of America offers a few helpful tips to manage stress. Take a time out. Eat well-balanced meals. Get enough sleep. Limit alcohol and caffeine, which can cause anxiety and trigger panic attacks. And welcome humor. A good laugh goes a long way. If your stress level needs professional help, contact Mexico Therapeutic Services at 208-547-4550.
Welcome back out here to the halftime show brought to you by Mexico Therapeutic Services on KBRV 800 The Bear. We take a look at how we got to this point in the game so far as the score sits at 39-6. It was a slow start for the Cardinals, only 15 points in the first quarter as they really relied on the three ball in that quarter. 3 triples in a row, in fact, from Tanner Myers, Ridge Thompson, and Kyle Olson helped the Cardinals build up to that 15-4 lead. In the second quarter, it was defense that led the way for Soda Springs, only giving up 2 points, and those from the free throw line as Bodie Ekstrom hit the only points of that second half for the Malad Dragons. 4 points went to Bodie Ekstrom in the game and 2 points to Hayden Dane as the Cardinals outscored the Dragons by 24-2 in that second quarter of play. And that's about how we got to where we are. Not a lot of turnovers for the Dragons, not a lot of fouls for either team. Really, and I've been telling this to my cameraman, Ben Jacobson here, one of the weirdest, put it as subtly, a weirdest blowout I've ever seen in my life, as it has not been a frantic pace by either team. You haven't necessarily seen one team overmatched as the score would have looked like, but definitely an odd situation out there on the court with the way the Dragons have been playing so far in this game, and you can tell this Dragons team definitely has a lot of hope in the future, assuming that this is the way that they can continue to play and continue to build up. A lot of freshmen out there in this game as well, and young players, only 2 seniors and 1 junior on this varsity squad. We'll take a break, come back with our numbers for the Cardinals on the other side of this break on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
How'd I do?
You'll get better. Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa. You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, Fish Dad!
Oh, come on! This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Here are your Lalaton's food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th in Soda Springs. Swing by and they can help you with breakfast savings. Get yourself Western Family select varieties of canned fruit for just $1 a can. They have $1 bags of Buyer's Best hash browns, as well as $1 cans of orange or grapefruit juice concentrate. If you're looking for something a little bit quicker each morning, they have Western Family 8 to 12 count instant oatmeal boxes, 2 for $3. Those are some of your food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Back here on the Mexico Therapeutic Services halftime show, Caleb Burgraff as the the Cardinals with a 39-6 lead here at the half in, again, something that I would call the weirdest blowout that I think I've ever been a part of broadcasting here at the top of the Cardinals or any of the teams that I've ever done broadcasting for. 39-6. Again, your score with a 33-point lead for Soda Springs. We're heading towards a running clock. And while we work our way towards that, let's take a look at the numbers for the Cardinals. 7 points apiece for Kyle Olson and Tanner Myers to lead Soda Springs. Rich Thompson and Henry Workman both have 6 points in the game as well. 3 points apiece for Riley Harris and Dylan Downs. 2 points for Will Sims. 2 points for Hiram Brown. 2 points for Will Kress and 1 point for Josh Balls. Riley Simmons, Morgan Steele is still yet to get into the game. We'll see if they get some playing time in this game as we move towards the running clock in that fourth quarter of play. We'll be back after this. A reminder, though, first that this game brought to you by Caribou Memorial Hospital, where you'll find a qualified, happy, and fun staff working with doctors who have a real interest in your well-being. They also have a large network of specialists and surgeons working in state-of-the-art surgical facilities and feature on-site rehabilitation services to ensure you have a comfortable and timely recovery. Caribou Memorial Hospital Living Center and clinics at 300 South 3rd West in Soda Springs.
Are you feeling stressed? The Anxiety and Depression Association of America offers a few helpful tips to manage stress. Take a time out. Eat well-balanced meals. Get enough sleep. Limit alcohol and caffeine, which can cause anxiety and trigger panic attacks. And welcome humor. A good laugh goes a long way. If your stress level needs professional help, contact Mexico Therapeutic Services at 208-547-4550.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here into the home of the Malad Dragons as the Soda Springs Cardinals holding on to a 39-6 lead. I say holding on in the loosest of terms as the Cardinals have led this one from wire to wire so far in the first half, and it looks like we're heading towards a running clock in quarter number 4 as the defense has definitely been strong for Soda Springs. Rich Thompson will take the inbounds. The Cardinals start out with the ball in quarter number 3. We'll see if the offensive and defensive pressure increases for the Cardinals as they go for the alley-oop pass into Henry Workman. He can't quite snare the ball in, though, and it's going to end up being a turnover to the Dragons, the 5th turnover of the game for the Cardinals. Pass in the corner, Hubbard pump fakes, drives to the hoop. That's a good shot there, but he will not get the end result. Pass launched up as Will Sims finds Josh Balls to the hoop, who lays it up and in, and a very near basket interference call on Tanner Myers. Josh Balls was fouled on the shot, and that was one, again, it should have been a basket interference call on Tanner Myers, as he has got to stop. That is something I've seen him do a lot of times so far this year, is go up after those and grab the rim. He has to stop because they will start calling that on him, as Josh Balls cannot hit the second free throw. He's 1 for 5 now, a rare off night at the free throw line. The Cardinals lead 41-6. 7 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Ball pass forward. It's going to be poked away, and the Dragons will poke it out of bounds themselves and taken over by the Soda Springs Cardinals to bring forward once again. Still that 35-point lead for Soda, though. 41-6, pass to the near side. Tanner Myers takes the hold of it, steps around, fakes the three-point shot, now gives off to Rich Thompson. Right corner, steps into the lane. Pro hop into the hot basket. He's fouled on his way to the hoop, and he's going to step to the free throw line. This foul is going to be called on Hayden Green. It's his first, and Rich Thompson will step to the line where he is 1 for 2. The Cardinals as a team only 5 for 9 in that first half shooting the ball, trying to improve on that as Thompson's first free throw cans that one, which makes them now 6 for 11 in the game. Chance to make it 7 for 12. And the junior will toe the line. Easily the best shooter on the Cardinals team, as his all-around game is one of the better ones there for the point guard position. And he makes a second free throw as well, 43-6, with 7 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. Bringing it forward, Dane back into the game, goes over to his right, picks up his dribble, and will try and find somebody as the 5-second call approaching. Throws it right to Will Sims, up ahead to Rich Thompson, runs the court, lays it up and in, tip back up towards the hoop. And a foul is going to be called. They'll wave off the basket, and they'll call basket interference on Henry Workman, who got the rebound, but just could not quite get it to go as it had not rolled off of the hoop enough. And Soda Springs will turn it right back over to the Malad Dragons. Winging the ball forward as Hayden Dane crosses the timeline and goes to his right. Stutter steps his way to the wing where he gives off to Hayden Green. Standing there, ball passed inside, kicked back outside by Evans to Green, who will back it out off of the wing. He'll hand off to Dane. To his right, the freshman tries to cut in, kicks the pass into the corner. Mishandled there and almost mishandled out of bounds by Drew Green. He throws the ball through the paint, turns it back over. Workman launches a pass up ahead. That's going to be picked off by the Dragons for the 7th turnover by the Cardinals. The two teams trading turnovers into the lane. Great drive to the hoop. Laying it up and in is Hayden Green for his first basket of the game. That might be your shot of the game, brought to you by Gem Valley Surveyors in Soda Springs. Back at the other side, laying it up and in, answering right back is Tanner Myers with his 9th point of the ball game. He gets it back to a 37-point lead, 45-8, with under 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter of play. Into the hoop is Green. He stoles back over on the right wing before passing it down low to Hubbard. Holds it on the corner. Looks to step inside, double team down low by Workman and Sims before bouncing it outside to Evans. He tries to go to his right. The DJ puts up a shot, has it blocked away by Workman, rebounded by Tanner Myers, and brought forward again by the senior. Over to Sims, pass into the corner, balls, finds Henry Workman inside the paint. He goes up, has it rejected out of his hands. Tanner Myers gets it back into his hands of the Cardinals, though, as he stops and pops one up from 19 feet after getting in the rebound on the block shot, and the Cardinals' lead improves now to 39, 47-8, in what has been a slow rising score for Soda Springs. A methodical game for the Cardinals. Pass into the paint, picked off by Soda Springs in the half court. Pass launched up ahead to Josh Balls, but turned right back over to the Dragons as Myers couldn't hold on to it. And bringing it forward is going to be Hayden Green. Into the lane, drives all the way to the hoop. Another fancy dribbling work by the senior, as that's twice now that he's taken the offense onto his shoulders and worked it in. Henry Workman back the other way, gets a pass in the lane, lays it up and in, and he's going to count the bucket and get a chance at a three-point play himself. 49-10, the Cardinals still up by 39 as subs will come into the game for the Cardinals. Hiram Brown will check in, as well as Kyle Olson. Riley Simmons into the game, as well as Will Kress. And I believe, yes, still sitting on the bench is Riley Harris. Free throw up and good by Workman. He's going to come over and take a seat. So 5 new players onto the court for the Cardinals. As Greg Bergholm giving Henry Workman a chat here on the bench, as he has some specific words for him, pats him on the head, and back into the action we go. 40-point lead for the Cardinals, 50-10. Over to the right side on the wing, trying to drive and having it poked away from his Hubbard. Tracking it back down is Hayden Green, though. He looks to his left, fouled on the play as Olsen didn't move his feet quickly enough, and Kyle Olsen picks up his first foul. Again, all bench players onto the court except for Tanner Myers for the Cardinals, with a pair of JV players joining them with Riley Simmons and Riley Harris. Turnaround jump shot missed off the right side of the rim, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Cardinals, as the turnaround jump shot was missed on that play by Hayden Green. Good look, just could not quite complete the play. It's been a lot of the case for the Malad Dragons in this game. Hayden Dane to inbound the ball, gets this one over to that's Hubbard, who gives it back to Dane. Pass into the lane, held onto there by Drew Green. The freshman goes to the right side to his brother, and Hayden Green will look to go to his right. Steps into the hoop, puts up a shot over the backboard and everything. Rebound comes off over to DJ Evans. He kicks it back out to Green. Hayden looks inside, gives off to Dane. Dane goes into the younger Green, and Drew Green will have it roll around the rim as he splashes that one through, rolls it through like a toilet bowl. 50-12, the Cardinals lead trimmed back down to 38 after the circus shot was made by the Dragons. Will Kress with the ball, tries to drive in. He's going to be fouled on the drive by Hayden Green, who reached in trying to poke the ball away. It'll be the 4th team foul on the Dragons, and we'll let the Cardinals inbound from the near side. The 3rd foul on Hayden Green as well. Ball lofted in. Riley Harris down low on the post, steps his way around. They're going to call him for a travel as he shuffled his back foot a bit. 5 turnovers in the quarter now for the Cardinals, but part of that has been because they've been trying to push the pace and get a couple of fast break scores easily. 3 minutes and 38 seconds to go, and Dane brings the ball forward. Still that 38-point lead. Dragons trying to cut into it to avoid getting to the running clock. Into the paint. A foul's going to be called on the Cardinals down low. Hiram Brown once again got a little bit too physical against Hayden Green, and the Cardinals pick up their 2nd team foul. And the Dragons will get to inbound from underneath their own basket with Hubbard starting the action. Hubbard goes to his right. Pass kicked up to the wing. Now back over to Hubbard in the corner. Holds it there, guarded by Riley Simmons. Now back up to Green, who walks it to the top of the key. Working right to left are the Dragons on your radio dial. Pass underneath. Hayden Green takes it top of the key. Shot up off the backboard or off the side of the rim. Kicks outside towards the drum set of the pep band on the far corner. And the Cardinals will take over with possession of the basketball. 50-12 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go and counting as the clock winds here. 3rd quarter of play. Running clock will be coming in the 4th quarter. You can be sure of that. Olsen kicks it to the corner. Riley Harris open for 3. Buckets that one down. Riley, a sneaky 3-point shooter. That's Riley Simmons who gets onto the scoreboard for the first time tonight. 53-12, the biggest lead of the game for the Cardinals. Hayden Green takes it left side, kicks the ball over to Drew Green, his brother, at the elbow. Shot no good. Rebound skied for and pulled in by Kyle Olsen. He'll push the pace the other way over to the left sideline. Pulls it up near the half-court line, finds Riley Simmons. Pass down low is going to be taken by Will Kress. Looks to turn around, is fouled down low inside the paint as he was trying to pass it up top to Kyle Olsen. And the Cardinals will get to inbound once again. The foul is going to go on Justin Hubbard for his 2nd foul. Will Kress checks out of the game. Dylan Downs back in for the Cardinals as they're mostly JVers out there for the Cardinal squad. Dylan takes the inbounds pass, goes up top to Olsen. Near side, Simmons back to Downs, open in the corner for a quick 3-ball. That's no good. Rolls off the rim. Scrum for the ball, and the foul's going to be called on Hiram Brown again. He rolls his eye, but definitely enough contact to warrant the foul there as he cut in front of the Malad Dragon player, and it turns it back over to the Dragons after the near rebound by the senior of the Cardinals. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. And the Dragons, working right to left, will inbound the ball and bring it forward with Hayden Green taking the point. Comes across the logo at center court, gives off to Hubbard. One bounce, passes it inside the lane. Drew Green, and a scrum on the floor as Drew Green undercuts Hiram Brown. On the other side, Dylan Downs finds himself open for a 3, and he'll trot back down the court after nailing his big triple. And the Cardinals lead his cruise now to 44 points, 56-12 to the right side. Hayden Green tries to cut to the hoop, pass into the corner. It'll be held on to there and moved up top to Hayden Dane. His 3-ball off the back iron from well deep, and a foul's going to be whistled. DJ Evans picks up his final foul, and he'll give it back to the Cardinals after the rebound was almost pulled in on the near side by Riley Simmons. Into the game fresh, replacing the final player of the Cardinals as Hiram Brown takes a seat, will be the handling skills of Tanner Myers. So in JV squad out there, other than Kyle Olsen, into the paint. The shot goes up from Riley Harris. Turnaround as Olsen pulls in the rebound. That one's laid up and in, and that's a good opportunity there for a possible play of the game. Brought to you by Trail Canyon Lodge, Bed and Breakfast in Soda Springs. We'll see if anything can match that one, but a great offensive putback by Olsen, his second of the game. Back the other side, a shot's going to be missed. Rebounded on the other side by DJ Evans, who I thought had fouled out, but apparently only had picked up his fourth. Riley Simmons picks up his rebound after another shot up, and the other way, Riley Harris is fouled on his way to the hoop as he tries to step in and knock home a bucket. So a little bit of a scrum for the ball here, and Riley Harris will step to the line with the Cardinals up by 46, 58-12, and the first free throw by Harris is knocked home. He's 2 for 2 at the line. The Cardinals now 4 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. One more coming up. Harris gets that one to go. He's 3 for 3 with 5 points now, and it's a 60-12 lead for Soda Springs. The defense has definitely been the strong point for the Cardinals, holding the Dragons to single digits. That's where Westside, while they put up a lot of points, did not necessarily have a solid game. On the right side of the court, trying to drive through, Drew Green has the ball poked out of his hands by Dylan Downs, and another inbounds play will come up for Hubbard on the far sideline. He'll hold on to the ball for a moment, looks to pass it in, bounce pass to the right side corner. Taken down there by Green, turnaround jump shot as Evans puts this one up. Can't quite get it to go, but Hubbard right there for the offensive board, his first board of the game. Jacks up a 3, can't get it to go, and Dylan Downs this time will corral the rebound for the Cardinals, and they'll wait for the offense to pass by before they bring it forward with Kyle Olsen. On the near side, Riley Simmons gets to some room, puts up a 3-ball. That's good. Riley with his second 3 of the game. And the JV team for the Cardinals coming out here into the varsity game and putting up some good points. A 51-point lead for Soda. Dane with the ball, kicks it to Drew Green. Holds it for a moment, gives it back to Dane. He goes to his right, drives the side of the lane, puts up a shot, can't get it to fall down, and Simmons pulls down his first rebound of the game. The junior gives off to Olsen, spin move in the backcourt to bring it forward and beat the full court press. Ball poked out of his hands, picked up by Morgan Steele. He'll stop and pop for 3. That's good! The Cardinals are raining from deep, and their lead improves to 54 points. Up the court, ball lofted deep at the buzzer, and we'll head into quarter number 4 with the Cardinals in front big, 54 points ahead of the Dragons of Malad. Back after this on your show for the Cardinals on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them. But I'm like, hello? That's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back into the home of the Malad Dragons, 66-12 your score as the Cardinals in front big over the Dragons. Running clock coming up here in what has been a very quick moving game between these two sides. That should be over in just about 8 to 10 minutes as the ball is going to be bounced into the backcourt and walked forward by Hayden Green. He'll cross the timeline and comes to the left side. New face into the game is Maston Tubbs. He gives back up to Green, who goes to his right behind his back and pulls the ball back as he avoids turning it over into Riley Simmons. A couple new faces into the game for the Cardinals as well as they'll move the ball to Drew Green. Do the Dragons. His shot just missed. Putback attempt missed as well by Hayden Green. And a foul on the rebound attempt on the other side will go, I believe, onto the Cardinals and allow the Dragons to hold on to possession. A couple new faces into the game for Soda Springs tonight are going to include, as I have to actually even look at my roster for this one, I believe Hunter Bybee, or excuse me, that's Jaron Johnson into the game for the Cardinals, wearing number 22, as the Dragons inbound the basketball to the far side wing. Running clock again has been initiated, so 7:08 and counting in this game. 3 ball at the top of the key missed as Dylan Downs pulls down a tough rebound underneath the basket. Pass lofted up ahead. Riley Simmons gives the ball back inside. It'll be Jaron Johnson turning around, shot blocked away and rebounded by Green. He avoids giving the ball back up and brings it forward, cuts up to the hoop, fouled on his attempt at the basket, and he's going to step to the line for his first free throws of the game and the first free throws of the second half for the Malad Dragons. Green with 2 shots coming up. The senior with 4 points in the game, tied for the team lead, and cannot break free of that as he rims the first shot out. 66-12. Clock continues to wind down to 6.5 minutes to go. One more coming up for Hayden Green. And this free throw is no good as well. Will Kress pulls down the board for the Cardinals, fresh into the game off the bench. Passes to the far side. Johnson somehow doesn't turn the ball over. Finds Morgan Steele, who gives it up top to Kress. Now Riley Simmons takes it top of the key. Cardinals looking to run some offense instead of taking the wide open shots as Morgan Steele goes over to the far side. Dylan Downs back up top to Steele. Now back to Dylan, excuse me. Down low, Kress tries to back his way into the post. Fouled on the way up. And that's a jump ball, that they're going to call. That is an Erickson Racing and Repair jump ball for all your automotive, snowmobile, and ATV repair needs. Give them a call. That's Erickson Racing and Repair in Soda Springs. 66-12, Cardinals to inbound. And Jaron Johnson will put this one in. It'll be Morgan Steele, comes around to the wing, up top to Downs, back inside to Johnson. He'll use one dribble to clear the lane before going up top to Steele. He tries to drive in, stops, floats a teardrop up that short, gets his own rebound. The 5'7" short man puts up a pass over to Dylan Downs. His shot is going to be short as well, and Maston Tubbs pulls down the rebound. Up ahead, Tubbs is going to carry the basketball, turning it right back over to the Cardinals. That's the 15th turnover in the game for the Malad Dragons. And we'll give the Cardinals another chance to bring it forward with Morgan Steele taking the point with 5:05 to go. Steele to the near side, gives off to Riley Simmons. He'll pass it to Will Kress on the right side elbow. Picks up his dribble, uses his dribble, steps into the lane, can't get his teardrop shot to go. Finds Johnson at the elbow. He'll kick it back out to Downs. Back to Johnson. Fronted at the elbow on the left side, gives back outside to Morgan Steele, who will back the ball out. Over to Simmons. Simmons gives off to Steele, who go one dribble to his left, passes it over to Johnson again at the elbow. Johnson at the top of the key, travels with the basketball to turn it over to the Malad Dragons. 10 turnovers in the game for the Cardinals now, with 4 minutes and 25 seconds and counting in this fourth quarter of game. 66-12, Soda Springs on top, as I've said. Still no score for either team in this quarter. Dream tries to drive in. Hayden goes to the right side to Hubbard. Flip pass back into the hands of Green on the give and go. He crosses over Kress and is going to be fouled on the crossover. Beautiful move down low. This senior for the Dragons has definitely been impressing me down low on what he's been able to do. Riley Simmons picks up the foul. It's his second foul and sends Green to the line for free throws. You put a better team around this Hayden Green kid, and tell you what, he'd definitely be one of the standout players on the team as far as his ball handling skills are concerned. A very solid player on the court who, the only reason he might not get looks from colleges is because he plays on a team that is struggling along on the year. One more free throw up. He's 0 for 3 at the line. Make it 1 for 4 as he finally puts one of the teams on the board here in quarter number 4 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Morgan Steele loses the ball. It's going to be poked out of his hands by Hubbard, diving onto the court. Good effort being shown by the Dragons, down by 53 points here. And the Cardinals inbound once again over to the far side. Steele trying to work there, goes behind the back, drives straight to the hoop, kicks a pass underneath to Downs, goes through his hands and is picked up by the Dragons. Hayden Green trying to go coast to coast, steps to the hoop, lays it up. Offensive foul will be called on Green, and that is going to be his 4th foul of the game. Tough foul if you're a Dragon fan on that one, as Green just needed to pull up his body a little bit on the way to the hoop, but had a great drive to the basket other than that, and the Cardinals will get to bring it forward again. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go as Morgan Steele takes the ball. Hands off to Kress at the elbow. He'll have the ball poked out of his hands, uses a dribble to clear it now as he gets it back underneath Johnson, blocked from behind. Drew Green with the block. It's rebounded underneath the basket by Maston Tubbs, and the Dragons will again keep the Cardinals off the board. Green, Hayden with a shot for 3, can't knock home the triple, and he'll step up to the free throw line once again. And if you're the Cardinals and Riley Simmons, it brings the question, why are you trying to play a tight defense on that 3-point basket and sending him to the line? Because this is where you need to work if you're the Cardinals on improving your game in a lot of different varieties. A great job by Simmons to go out and cover, but you have to control yourself going out towards those 3-point baskets, especially on a 3-point shooter like Hayden Green, who knocks home the first free throw. Makes it 66-14. Soda Springs still on top as the second free throw good as well. Green with 7 points and 5 rebounds. And one more will come up. The senior takes a breath, fires it up, right-handed shooter, gets all 3 of them. 4 points from the free throw line to give him 8 in the game, and the Cardinals lead trimmed down to 50. It'll be Simmons to bring it forward. He'll pull the ball back, and the junior will let the offense run out. Comes to his right, stands on the wing, kicks the ball over to Steele, avoids turning it over to Hubbard. Underneath, Will Kress wide open under the hoop. Hands off to Johnson, who has it blocked out of his hands. A smile on his face of the Cardinals, obviously trying to get him some points in the game, but just has not been able to tally it yet. And a foul's called on the rebound as it comes out to the near side. That'll be the 8th team foul on the Dragons. And it goes on to Justin Hubbard. It'll be his 3rd by my count, his 4th and the 9th team foul on the Dragons as Riley Simmons will toe the line. He's already got 6 points, 1-and-1 free throws here. Can't hit the free throw. Jaron Johnson pulls down the rebound, then throws it out of bounds. It'll remain with the Cardinals, though, as it was poked away by the Dragons. Dylan Downs set to do the inbound. He passes this one into Morgan Steele. Back to Downs on the left side corner. Tries to drive in. Now gets cut off and gives up top to Steele once again. He backs up near the half-court set, tries to cut inside, goes to his left. Hubbard hounding him there, gives back over to Simmons. Riley goes into the free throw line. Kress takes one dribble, finds Steele. Steele loses the ball, picked off by Hayden Green. Another turnover for the Cardinals, and Hayden will turn it right back over, and he's going to travel with the ball, or will that be the Cardinals traveling? It's the Cardinals traveling with the ball to turn it back over to the Dragons. 15 seconds to go, so the Dragons, in setting the basketball here, will take the last and final play of this game. Ball inbounded to Hubbard. He'll rise for 3. Can't get it to go short. Rebound again to Johnson. He'll hold on to the basketball. 2 seconds and 1 second, and the buzzer sounds, and that does it for the game here tonight. Cardinals win this one 66-16 over the Malad Dragons to go to 1-0 in District 5 play and 9-5 on the season. We'll be back with your post-game show after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Here are your Lalaton's food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th in Soda Springs. Swing by and they can help you with breakfast savings. Get yourself Western Family select varieties of canned fruit for just $1 a can. They have $1 bags of Buyer's Best hash browns, as well as $1 cans of orange or grapefruit juice concentrate. If you're looking for something a little bit quicker each morning, they have Western Family 8 to 12 count instant oatmeal boxes, 2 for $3. Those are some of your food specials for the week of January 14th through the 20th at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Time for your post-game show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com as the Soda Springs Cardinals finishing out a 66-16 victory over the Malad Dragons, and that's with 0 points being scored for the Cardinals in the final frame of the game. That's 66 points in 3 quarters. You heard me right on that one. We'll first take care of our plays of the game and shot of the game, and you don't like necessarily giving the play of the game over to the Dragons, but you have to say, this was the shot of the game. Hayden Green with both of his drives into the paint in that third quarter. Phenomenal ball handling skills when the varsity was still out there on the court, able to cut to the hoop and make a left-handed and right-handed layup that the Cardinals were really able to take advantage of, the Dragons were able to take advantage of, as he was 8 of their 10 points in the second half came from him. And Hayden Green, that he is a well-deserved shot of the game, brought to you by Gem Valley Surveyors. For your surveying needs, call Wade at 208-425-9035. On the other side of that performance, your play of the game, brought to you by Trail Canyon Lodge Bed and Breakfast. You can give it to Kyle Olson. It's got to be one of his 2 offensive putbacks that he got as one of the shorter players on the court for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Ends up getting up and getting a couple of rebounds there, and the offensive putback on the right side of the court really was one of the big things that helped them along. His hustle is definitely something deserving of. He was also our pregame interview, and he's a little bit of a spark plug down there underneath the basket for the Soda Springs Cardinals every single time that he takes out to the court for this squad. And a well-deserved play of the game there for the Cardinals junior. And we'll welcome into the post-game show now our fellow companion, Brent Erickson, who, despite giving me grief here on the drive over here for my vehicle and the snow, is still going to be allowed onto the post-game show. And Brent, when you look at the way that the Cardinals were able to play in tonight's game, a tough team, and when you look at Malad and the way that you still want your kids to come out and play hard, but you don't necessarily want them to get hurt or injured or do anything like that in this game, and it's tough to get yourselves to play hard when it's an opponent that's 1-10 on the season.
Well, when you look at Malad, they're a young team. I'm not going to question what the coach decisions he's making there, but he started 2 freshmen, and I don't know what I didn't get a chance to look at the roster and see how many upperclassmen they had, but I honestly believe you're trying to build a program, but also part of that program is winning, and if he needs a freshman on varsity, I guess that's what you have to do, but it's a tough game. Kids gain confidence by winning, whether at the C team level. Now, if you're just going to take beating after beating after beating, I mean, time you get to be juniors and seniors, all you know is losing. And that's a tough thing to overcome. Now, our strategy tonight, we knew it was going to be this type of game. Coach Bergholm wanted to sub 2 JV players in at a time, but it just got out of hand there that we couldn't put any more of our varsity players on the court. Now, we had to pull Riley Harris out because he'd already played his limited amount of quarters, so we did have to finish with Will Kress out there. But we shot the ball well tonight. We hit some goals that we wanted to. We wanted to control the defensive boards and control our turnovers. Now, I was keeping track of that kind of stuff, and a lot of that happened in the fourth quarter, and that's on the JV team. So I think the varsity did a good job. We didn't set a goal of how far we wanted to beat them. We set a goal on turnovers, controlling the boards, and taking a charge. We did get one charge, and that was Riley Simmons that took that charge. So that's the kind of strategy that Coach Bergholm approached this game.
And I like that strategy where you put the goals on your team, not necessarily on what the other team's performance is going to be. To answer your question, the reason that they started so many freshmen, they had 4 seniors at the start of the season. And this is to educate people out there as well. They had 4 seniors at the start of the season. 2 of those in Dagan Haycock and Alan Atkinson are hurt now on the season. So they only have 2 seniors left on the team, 1 junior, 1 sophomore on their varsity. So they don't have much but freshmen to get out there onto the court. So that answers the question on why they started so many freshmen. It's a tough situation to be in as a coach, especially on that level. And we talked to head coach Tyrell Neal. But back to the Cardinals, when you talk about shooting well in this game, the Cardinals, the one thing I will say on this one, and this is a question for you, because it's tough when you're this high up from the game to see the intensity that's out there. They seemed a little bit methodical, very methodical in the way their game was playing. Not necessarily lackadaisical, but there were times when it seemed like they got a little bit lazy out there on the court. Is that something that you saw as well, or is that something that being from up here this high is not necessarily a good judgment?
Well, we talked about some things at halftime. You know, our goal at halftime was one of our goals is we wanted to hold them to their season low, which would have been 10 points. Previously, Marsh Valley held them to 11, Firth held them to 19. But we talked about still don't pick up bad habits, and continue to do the things that we teach on defense. And I felt like we had a couple that the varsity had a couple turnovers right there to start the third quarter, and Malad scored on them. So that's something we're not happy about. But overall, I mean, I thought we played as well as we could against this team.
And it's tough it's tough to get yourselves fired up when you're playing a team, again, 1-10, that has struggled to put points up offensively on the year. The final question I'll have for you is when you compare yourselves now in district play, and that's something you can start doing when you see common opponents. You can do it beforehand, but now that you're getting into district teams, Westside played this team on Thursday and gave up 38 points to this Malad team. When you look at this now in the overall spectrum of things, Westside really looks to be the biggest competition coming into the season without necessarily taking a look at Aberdeen yet on what the district's going to play out as. What does that mean for you guys moving forward when you look at this compared to a team like Westside and what they did to Malad?
Well, we don't really look at that, what Westside did. I compared Firth and Marsh Valley. I was just looking at we was trying to set a goal at halftime, and that was hold them to their season low. We're still going to work on, you prepare for certain teams a certain way. We kind of have got a scouting report on Westside. Bear Lake, we don't. But right now, we'll come into Monday's practice preparing for Aberdeen, and we'll still continue to work on the things that we got to be a little bit better at. And we talked about getting out-rebounded by Marsh Valley. We cleaned that up today. We still got to work a little bit on-ball defense, how we defend, the dribble. But other than that, we'll still continue to do the things we have in practice. Now, like I said, when we prepare, we haven't seen Aberdeen, so we don't know what they run. But I think we got a pretty good scouting report on Westside and Bear Lake.
Well, Coach, a good win here tonight. Solid way to open up district play for you guys, 66-16 without scoring a point in the fourth quarter when it was running clock. But, again, solid win for you guys by 50 points over a Malad team you needed to win by big against in order to kind of send that statement through. Looking forward to watching you guys as you continue on and then get ready for more district games next week.
Coach Bergholm, he's not a coach that's going to run up the score. And Tyrell Neal kind of shouted out at him when we was hitting threes. So the reason why we didn't score in the fourth quarter, he kind of told his kids to pull it back. And it's not what he wants to do, but Greg respects programs in Malad. You can look at their state championships. They have had a great basketball program here. They're struggling right now. He's got his work cut out, but I'm sure he's up to the job.
Well, Coach, good luck to you guys moving on. We'll take a break, come back with more here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish Dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Welcome back out to the home of the Malad Dragons. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at MyLocalRadio.com. Final wrap-up on the stat numbers for tonight's game as we start with the Malad Dragons. 8 points and 5 rebounds for Hayden Green to lead the way. 4 points for Bodie Ekstrom with 3 rebounds as well, and 2 points for Drew Green, the sophomore, with 0 rebounds on that side. Hayden Dane had 2 points and 1 rebound as well, as the Malad Dragons really looking to try and build themselves up from this one. Only 16 turnovers. I think that's the brightest spot for the Malad Dragons in tonight's game, not turning the ball over a lot against a Soda Springs team that likes to really put a lot of pressure on. For Soda Springs, everybody who played tonight scored except for Jaron Johnson. 11 points for Tanner Myers leading the way, 9 points for Kyle Olson and for Henry Workman, 8 points for Ridge Thompson, and after that a plethora of numbers. Dylan Downs with 6, Riley Simmons with 6, Riley Harris with 5, Will Sims with 2, 2 points for Hiram Brown, 2 points with Will Kress, 3 for Josh Balls, and 3 for Morgan Steele, as the Cardinals really slowed down the scoring in the back half of that. Time now for our sports update. Tara Fetzer of the Soda Springs softball team, the new coach, joins us now on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at MyLocalRadio.com.
It looks like this program really started to grow and develop as the years have gone along. There have been some rough years, but there's also been some years where there have been some real positive looking back on the records. What would you say is some of the biggest things that you've seen in the time that you were an assistant coach and the time that you were the stat keeper for this team?
I would say just the little moments that we have wins, the little things every game, the little growth that we see here and there. Over the course of the season makes the season successful. Maybe our record didn't show that, but the growth of each individual girl and then as a team altogether to be able to have that success in the end.
You and I were talking before this, and you did not actually play softball. You didn't really have a lot of a background until your daughter was there, but you've been learning it as you've been there. How much have you picked up, and what was the learning curve like for you to try and pick up the game?
The learning curve has been huge. To be able to learn from Coach Stein and those other coaches, to be able to pick up little things, pitching, hitting, little things that help the girls. We've had girls that have started from basically nothing, and to watch the coaches teach how to learn those little tiny skills that lead to the better players from the very beginning. Also watching games online, going to coaching clinics. There's been a lot that I've learned over the past 5 years.
It's always good when you actually take the reins and step in and try and do those extra things to build yourself up as a coach as well. How prepared would you say you are for taking in the head coaching job with all that stuff in your background?
I would say I'm quite prepared. I have a lot. I've coached before other sports. I know the dynamics, and I think that's a big part of building a team is working together as a team and building that relationship and that unity. I love softball. I love the strategy. I love figuring out what works, what doesn't in certain situations. All of that makes me a coach that will be successful and help to build a program that's successful and continues to be successful here at Soda High.
Final question for you. This has to go to continuity. You and I were also talking about this. When the kids have a coach that they've seen before who steps into the role of being the head coach, do you think that helps out with keeping kids on board with the program and not losing that momentum?
I definitely think so. I think the things that we continue on, I mean, of course, there's going to be things that might change here or there, but having that same face around helps them know that you're devoted to the program and helps them keep that loyalty in check too, and realize that the coaches do believe in the program as well, and that they can trust in their coaches as well.
Well, Coach Fetzer, thank you so much for taking the time to talk, and we'll look forward to talking a little bit more when the season kicks off, but congratulations on the new job, and hopefully we'll see good things from Soda softball.
Oh, I am sure it will be a good season. Thank you.
That was Coach Tara Fetzer, the new softball coach for the Soda Springs Cardinals. We have one more break coming your way, and then we're going to get into our look ahead and find out what's next for the Soda Springs Cardinals right here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at MyLocalRadio.com.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
Then what you're
going
to do is turn onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue.
just broke up
and go past the first
apparently
3
she's
lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
One final time back here at Malad High School. Caleb Burgraff on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Thank you for joining us for tonight's game as we take a look ahead at what's coming up next. The January 20th game is going to be the next game for the Cardinals in any sport, as the Soda Springs boys are going to be taking on Aberdeen on Wednesday in their second District 5 game. We'll be on the air at 6:40 with the pregame show, 7 o'clock with the opening tip. Also going on that night, the North Gem girls and boys basketball team will be hosting Cokeville. Then on January 21st, that Thursday, the girls basketball team will be playing host to Marsh Valley in their final non-district game until the state tournament rolls around. That'll be a 6:40 pregame and a 7 o'clock tip as well. Grace boys basketball will be at Declo that night, and North Gem girls basketball will be playing host to Clark that night. On Friday night, the Soda Springs boys basketball team will be traveling to Westside in a much-anticipated game between the Pirates and the Cardinals. That'll be a 6:40 opening, or excuse me, a 7:10 pregame show and a 7:30 opening tip. And on January 23rd, the Soda Springs girls basketball team travels to Bear Lake and will take on the Lady Bears for the second time this season. 6:40 opening pregame show and 7 o'clock opening tip for that game as well. That's a look at everything going on in the future for Soda Springs basketball and for the county as well for the next couple of games. I want to thank you for listening to the Cardinal Postgame Show. The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. I would also like to thank our sales team as well as our office manager Kim Miller and general manager Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. Once again, our final score, 66-16. Soda Springs cruises to their first district win of the season. For tonight's videographer Ben Jacobson, I'm Caleb Burgraff. We'll be back with more next week on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com, your home for Cardinal sports.
We hope you have enjoyed this presentation of Caribou County basketball on KBRV The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Visit our website for a full schedule of upcoming games and for recaps of every game we have covered this year. Until next time we take to the air with Caribou County Sports, goodbye and good night.